What's up, y'all? Welcome to Carcell Pod, EP.7. We already on EP.7. We on the road. Yep. It's already been 7 days. It's already been a week. That's cool. Well, I think I started last Friday. Yeah, last Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, so it's been about 8 days or 7 days. Yeah, the 7th. So the 7th day. Huh? Dope. We on day 7, EP.7 of Carcell Pod. Pretty much gonna talk about the same thing pretty much every day, all the time. We talk about my background story, we talk about Tinashe, we talk about my music, we talk about the Nas, talk about my animation, we're gonna talk about my books. Today I think we should talk about, at least start off, we're always gonna talk about the Nas, but I think I wanna start off with some stories. So I think I'm gonna tell y'all about this animation story. I know y'all heard it already, but I didn't tell you like details about animation or anything like that. So I'm gonna tell y'all about this animation stuff and how passionate I am about animation and how I wanna pursue a career in animation and stuff like that, and film and music, but I want to talk about animation for a little bit. Yeah, I started doing animation in 2019 seriously for the first time, and I did pretty good. I used Microsoft Paint to do animation. What? Yeah, Microsoft Paint. The regular Microsoft Paint on the computer. I just straight up do animation on that. And a lot of people have been telling me I should use other programs, but that's the one I'm already used to. But I definitely will try other programs, but for the beginning stages, I'm definitely gonna keep using Microsoft Paint as my main program for animation until I feel like I'm ready to move on to a different program. But yeah, Microsoft Paint is where I do my animations. But anyways, yeah, I started doing animations in 2019, stuff like that. To be honest, my only project that I'm working on is my Carcell's Amazing Fantasy project, which is inspired by my Say music video. The reason why I drew my Dream Baby Mama and all that stuff, it's inspired by that. So Carcell's Amazing Fantasy is inspired by that song. And the whole entire story of my dream family and stuff like that is inspired by that song. So that's what Carcell's Amazing Fantasy is. It's just like a bigger story to the song, and the animation is the visuals for the you know, the animation is the visuals for the story of my dream family, basically. So. And I that's my number one mission. No, that's my number one thing that I'm working on right now. Yeah, top priority. Well, one of my top priorities is getting that animation done for the Carcell's Amazing Fantasy film that I want to do, because I want to do an animation first, and then after the animation, I want to do a live action version of Carcell's Amazing Fantasy, and I think that's gonna be dope. I think a lot of people are gonna want to watch it and support it because it's Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Just like another Spider-Man movie, but with a reality involved in it this time. A lot of reality. You know, it has to do with my wish and all that stuff, but it just flipped with a fictional twist, like, oh, I grew up and something happened, but it's a secret what happened. But I made a wish with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, so that's of course the inspiration for Carcell's Amazing Fantasy too. But I put my dream baby mama stuff in it just because the coincidence of the Tinashe looking like Starla. It was such a crazy coincidence that I had to write an extra story on top of it called Carcell's Amazing Fantasy. So I just hope that you guys looking forward to reading the books, watching the movies, playing the video games, because I'm about to make a video game of Carcell's Amazing Fantasy. It's about to be crazy. And this is like fifth wall territory versus fourth wall. Fourth wall is when the characters communicating with the audience on screen or whatever on the page. And fifth wall is when you are a character in real life, and no one's a real character in real life besides Tinashe and me, technically, because of my newspaper, the data, the literature that's on that newspaper, and the facts that's on that newspaper versus the fiction that's on that newspaper. You know what I mean? You just got to separate it, but at the same time, you got to be realistic. What does the newspaper say? It says Carcell's been a fan of Spider-Man long before the summer's blockbuster movie in reference to Spider-Man 1. So that tells us that I'm in a more realistic position than the average person who's playing Spider-Man or has a Spider-Man story. I'm in a higher position because on the newspaper article says that I've been a fan of Spider. So if I were to be on a movie and I did fourth wall and I said, and such and such Spider-Man, such and such, or whatever, or anything, and if I went on a movie and did any fourth wall and I came out of that movie and we're in reality where this newspaper exists, what position am I in after that? After breaking the fourth wall and then coming back to reality, and in reality I'm on a newspaper that says I've been a fan of Spider-Man long before the summer's blockbuster. So where am I in reality? Am I fifth wall, sixth wall for that, for breaking the fourth wall? And in reality I'm Spider-Man, not just the actor that signed a contract. I'm a boy that made a wish to be Spider-Man. So we're dealing with a wish, we're not dealing with contracts. So it's just stuff like that. You got to think about that type of stuff, like when you read this book and you're just like, okay, so we're talking about walls, like how many real walls are we really breaking here? We got to really start counting them now, because something special happened with me and my Dream Baby Mama story and my Spider-Man story and all the, like, and the National Marriage ships, like it's all just one big crazy story. So we got to figure out how many walls we actually reaching here, because me and Tinashe, I believe we broke a record for wall breaking in literature. I honestly want somebody to sit down with me and Tinashe, and I want to study this whole fifth wall, sixth wall thing, because I honestly believe that me and Tinashe broke the fifth, sixth wall for the first time ever. Maybe even more walls beyond that, but we're gonna take our time with it and figure this really out. But yeah. But that was my spill on the whole animation, the whole cartoon, Carcell and Tinashe video game stuff that's about to be coming out. I just wanted to give y'all a little spill about like what to be expecting and what to look for when you're watching it and stuff like that, so. Yeah. But let's get off the topic of animation, and I think we could smoothly go into books from there. My books. I want to talk about my books. So I could use the last topic as a segue. So we got the animation and we got the books. The book. I have one book out, but I have 3 books like basically done. I'm just writing. I'm just finishing editing them. But I basically got 3 books, but one of them is on Amazon already, called Carcell's Amazing Fantasy Book 1. You could get a paperback for $40, a hardcover for $100, or you get a digital copy for $10. So you have 3 different choices. But they're all on Amazon. They're all those three is on Amazon, and I also got some copies on Barnes and Noble, but it's only one paperback. It's just a paperback for $40 on Barnes and Noble. So if you want to do that, go ahead and do that. But yeah, Carcell's Amazing Fantasy, the book is about it's just a fictional twist on reality, like how I made a wish to be Spider-Man when I was 8 years old with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and it's just like me like 20 years later. So I was 27 28, 27 when I wrote this book, and so it's just basically like a 20 years later of like story, a 20 years later story of Carcell as Spider-Man. Like, so it's just like a cool, that's actually super duper cool if you guys think about it. Like, I'm literally, because if you believe it, not believe, but if you like the multiverse and stuff like that, it's a cool thing to think about. Like, whoa, somebody in reality made a wish to be Spider-Man, and he grew up and wrote a story about it, and then all these amazing things happened in his life, you know what I mean? So it's just a cool food for thought type of book. But definitely check it out. I got links everywhere. You just gotta find them on my YouTube. I got links on my YouTube. Just gotta go to my profile. I got links on my Instagram, links on my TikTok. So you just gotta look around for it. But you can find the book. Or you can just straight up go on Google and type in Carcell's Amazing Fantasy, and find it on Amazon. Go on Amazon and type in Carcell's Amazing Fantasy, and get your copy. But we can move on from books to we could talk about Tinashe right now. All I do is think about Tinashe all day, and Tinashe, if you're hearing this, I want you to know I care about you, and I think about you all day. I literally watch Naturally all day long. Like, I just watch Naturally all day long sometimes, and I just be chilling watching Naturally all day long. But I love thinking about you. You literally look like my dream baby mama that I drew, so that's why I love you so much. That's my reason, because a lot of people don't have a reason to, not a reason to, but a lot of people don't be having reasons to say what they say sometimes. They just be saying stuff. So I'll just let you know everything I tell you is real. You know what I mean? Not from the bottom of my heart, because it's just like Starla. You know what I mean? Like, you just look like Starla. Like, that's really crazy. That's like, I don't know how to unthink about that. Like, but anyways, yeah, I just want to let you know I think about you and I care about you, and I hope you have a great day. And whenever you hear this, I hope you're having a great day whenever you hear this. So I just want you to know that. And I love you, and I care about you. You're super dope. You're the greatest of all time, literally. And I could prove it. If you give me a chance to prove it, I could prove that you're the greatest, and you deserve to get paid and all types of recognition for it, because you're literally the greatest. And people trying to compete, but there's no competition with Tinashe. So I just wanted you to know that. But anyways, that's my Tinashe spill for today. What else? We can talk about my background. Talk about my background a little bit. Some type of background story. So a good background story is, let's see. A background story. What's a good background story I could tell y'all real quick? I can tell you about when I first started doing music seriously. I can tell you about my first show. My dad actually put me on my very first show at a bar, and he was there and he watched me perform, and that was a pretty dope moment and a memorable moment. It was at some bar. I forgot the name of it. They probably don't exist anymore, but who knows. But yeah, I performed a song called what is that song called? Dang it. It's called what is it called? I forget. But it was a pretty good song. But I was a little nervous and stuff like that at first. But I like it was such a good song that it impressed people in the bar. You know what I mean? So, but it gave me a lot of experience that I needed. You know what I mean? Like, but not just that show, but many shows afterwards. After that, like now, like if you ask me now, like what I think about shows and music and stuff like that, I think your music should match with your shows, and I think that music should always match with a show, and I think that music should be made for shows now. If you ask me now versus back then, I thought everything was about lyrics and being lyrical and like flow schemes and stuff like that. Like I was really into schemes and things like that, and like writing like crazy like patterns and stuff like that to rap, or like rap schemes and stuff like that, like rhyme schemes. Like that's what I like. But now, if you ask me now, like I think it's more important that that song feels good to the world, and it makes the whole world want to dance and jump up and down and go crazy. Like I think that's what music is supposed to be now. Like period. Like it gotta feel like that. Like we at a concert and everybody jumping up and down and they want to have fun. That's just my personal thoughts on music and stuff like that, like, and what it should be like. That's my number one goal now. Like when I make a song, I'd be like, man, I want to make them jump and shake their booty and all types of stuff. Like, and it gotta sound like it gotta feel like a concert song. Like it gotta feel like a good, like Coachella, happy in the grass, dancing type music. Like that's the music that I want to make now, versus the type of music I wanted to make starting off, where it was just basically lyrical stuff, which is cool. Like it's cool to do my lyrical stuff every now and then, but I think it's more important to make people jump and jump and jump and jump and jump and use their energy, get that energy off of you. I think that's good. Like, but it's cool to make music for the mind, and you know, to bob your head to and not really dance to. Like that's good. It's good to make music like that too. But I like to make music that matches with my energy, and I think I'm more of an energetic person. And then when I make music like that, it just matches with who I am. So that's why I like to make music like that. And yeah. But that's a little background story of like my little show, my little performance things and stuff like that. Little performance things, you know what I mean, like that I do, performance experiences, and how it changed me and stuff like that, like how it changed my thoughts on music. But yeah, I'm a music head though. Like I could sit there and make music all day. Like really, I could make music all day long if I wanted to. Like if I felt like it. But I love making music. I'm always in a mood to make music. Always. But let's get off that subject and talk about the Nash. Boo, boo, boo. What I need from you guys is support. I need y'all to support as much as possible. I need y'all to reach in y'all pocket, check what y'all got, do some mathematics, and donate. Because if you don't donate now, National American Shape Shifts are going to take longer to exist. So that's why I need you guys to definitely do that. I need you guys to definitely donate and let the world know that you support the world's first American shaped cruise ships before they exist, just so it could be better when you tell the story. Yep, I support the world's first American shaped cruise ships when they first came out. I mean, before they first came out, I was one of the first ones that knew about it. And that's bragging rights right there. That's bragging like hard, you know what I mean? It really is. So support, and you will not be forgotten. I'm gonna remember you, and I'm always gonna talk about y'all, all my supporters. I'm gonna always talk about y'all and how much I love y'all. But yeah, if you don't know how to donate, I'll let you know right now. All you gotta do is go on GoFundMe, download the app, or go on the website, go on GoFundMe and go on the search bar and type in support the first American shaped cruise ship and search it. When you see it, click on it, and then you could donate however much you want to donate. If you don't want to donate, you want to do something different and you want to support, you can buy t-shirts on my TikTok shop and my website. All you got to do is go on my Instagram, Tinashe1, Tinashewon. Go on my Tinashe1 account, click on my links, and go to Carcell. Click on my TikTok link to buy a shirt, or you could go on my Carcell everything. Click on that, then click on Carcell website, and then scroll down, and you can find the shirt on there. So those are two ways you can support. You can either donate or you can buy a t-shirt, whichever one works. Either one is good. Either one makes the National American Shaped Ships a reality faster. So go ahead and do that. And as far as news goes for the National American Shaped Ships, there's not any right now. I called them this morning and they told me to just wait for more news to come out. Just wait for it. Just keep waiting. Be patient. What they told me. So that's what I gotta do. I gotta be patient. But as soon as I get some news, I'm definitely gonna let the whole world know. I'm gonna let everybody know what's going on with the National American Shaped Ships and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure, like I said last episode, that they're working on a website right now, so I think that's what's going on next. But it's up to me to launch the website. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and donate. Go on GoFundMe and type in support the first American shaped cruise ship and donate however much you want to donate. Or you could buy t-shirts, or you could do both. You could donate and buy t-shirts if you're having a good day like that. But what I be doing when it comes to the NAS, man, I just be looking at the brochure that they sent me with the illustration that's on it, and the little floor plan that I drew, that they redrew for me. I just be looking at that paper all day. Well, not all day, but when I want to look at the NAS, and when I'm excited, I just look at that. Just be like, dang, I can't wait, man. I can't wait for the NAS to be a reality. But yeah. But I'm very excited all day, like 24/7 excited, 24 hours, 24/7 excitement, 24/7 excitement for the National Mixtape shit. Period. That's who I am right now. Yeah. But I'm glad that I'm you know what I mean, I got a patent and everything, so nobody could copy me for 25 years. And if they copy me, I'm suing them. Period. Because I need all my money. I need all of my money. Because I'm the one that designed the world's first American shaped cruise ships, not anybody else. So I'm the CEO of this. You know, and I need every little dime that I could get from the National American shaped ships. I need it. Because I got a lot of things that I'm trying to buy. A lot of things. But definitely support if you like the idea of the world's first American shaped cruise ships and you think it's gonna look dope from the top view on that ocean. It looks just like the shape of America, and it looks just like the American flag at the same time. That's gonna be the most monumentally beautiful monuments of all time. The National American shaped ships. And another thing to remember, like I said last episode, is that you're gonna have your very own National American shaped ship in your backyard, in your pool, so you don't have to be jealous of mine forever. It's gonna come. I promise. It's gonna be 16 by 16 inches. That's huge. And it's gonna be affordable. Everybody's gonna be able to afford to have one. I promise. But yeah, I'm just waiting, just like everybody else, you know. Like it's gonna take a minute for everything to fall through, but once it does, you guys gonna know right away. I'm not gonna hold any information from you guys. I'm gonna always keep you guys updated about what's going on. But right now it's a drought. Right now it's pretty dry when it comes to news about the National American shaped ships and the step that they're on and stuff like that right now. Like that's like unknown. So until it's not. So but yeah, let me talk about a little bit of background on the NAS. I actually was just looking at some notes today, and I actually took my first note of the National American shaped ships on May 17th, 2025. So it's about 7 months old. The National American shaped ships is 7 months old today. It's crazy, right? It's crazy how time flies. 7 months already. I can't wait to get everything with the NAS, everything done. Because once everything's done, we in the clear. And them ships we talking about making them real. We talking about the possibility of making them a reality. That's gonna be the step that I'm excited for. But yeah, May 17, 2025 is when I took my first note of the National American shaped ship chips. But that's dope. 7 months ago, the world's first American shaped cruise ships were invented. I ain't gonna lie, like I was super excited when I first thought about the National American shaped ships. I couldn't believe it. Like I didn't even have to Google it. Like that's how you know you got something when you don't have to Google it. Like it's like a no-brainer. They don't exist. Like Like, wow. But yeah, the Nash is fairly new though. Even though 7 months, that is pretty. It's a long time already, but it's not too long. But it's, you know, I mean, it ain't nothing compared to forever, because I know the National Mary Shake shit is gonna be here forever. So yeah, I can't wait though. I want to put the National Mary Shake shits in my book. I think that would be dope, because it's crazy, because I've been, like, the thing about the book is that it's like a flip on reality, so it's not too far from, like, what's going on. It's not too far-fetched from my real life, basically, is what I'm saying. The only thing that's like super far-fetched is that I don't want to spoil it, but it's like Spider-Man stuff going on inside the book, where it's like, well, I could tell you guys, it's like kind of like some magical stuff happened in the book. So it's like, it takes it from nonfiction, like basically like a non-fictional story to a fictional story. It's like half nonfiction and fiction at the same time. But I think it would be dope, because I was writing like about the possibilities of being with Tinashe and stuff like that, if I kept pursuing her and I say the right things and do the right things and all that stuff. That's what the book is about. But the book was just about that though. Like, but I thought of the National Mary Shake ships, what, 2 years after John, a year or two, yeah, like a year. I thought of the National Mary Shake ships a year after I put out the first book. So it's just like, that's a part of my real life too. So it's just like, dang, I could implement that into the final book. So I was thinking about doing that. I was thinking about putting the Nash in the book, just to make the book extra saucy, because we already got Spider-Man in the book, we already got Tinashe in the book, we already got Carcell in the book, and many more. But to have the Nash inside the book too is just gonna be crazy. Like, but I definitely got to do that. I definitely got to do that. Yeah. But it's just a thought for now though. But we'll see. But I do want you guys to be hyped about that book though. I want y'all to be hyped about the movies that's gonna come out, the animation, and then the live action version, because we got to do the animation first. We have to, because it's been something that the reason why I want to do the animation first is because just to pay homage to myself, because I worked so hard on the animation, you know, and I want that to be something that, and I've been talking about the animation for years, so I think it'll be dope for me to just put it out, like put the animation out and stuff like that, you know, put it out, you know, but in the movies. But I just hope you guys are excited for it, because it's gonna be crazy. Like, it's gonna totally change the game of not just movies, but the whole Marvel situation, the whole Marvel story. Like, I think it fits in perfectly, and I think it'll be dope to get us to that Earth 1218 type of environment in the movies, but the right way, not like the wrong way, because we could definitely do Earth 1218 story the wrong way. But I think Carcell's Amazing Fantasy is a great segue for Marvel to do a 1218 movie with me. I personally think that it would be dope if Marvel did a Earth 1218 movie with me, just because of my Spider-Man background and my Marvel background, and like just trying to implement those Marvel stories into reality. I personally think that my story will be perfect for them if they're trying to convince the audience that Marvel, all the characters are real somewhere in the universe, you know what I mean? Like, I think that would be dope. But it's up to me, actually, and you know what I mean, I gotta prove my worth, you know what I mean? I gotta prove that Marvel won't waste their time when they invest in me, you know. So it's up to me to really prove my worth, like I said. But you know, dreams are dreams, but you know, they're only dreams until you make them a reality. And I'm trying to make all my dreams a reality, you know. And at the same time, I want to pay homage to the original writers and the original people who had their hand in the Marvel background since the beginning until now. You know what I mean? Like, I want to pay homage to the real Marvel fans and the people who really care about Spider-Man stories and all that stuff. Like, I want you guys to watch Carcell's Amazing Fantasy and be like, yeah, like, this is something that we needed. We needed some 12-18 stories to, like, just switch up the taste or the flavor of Marvel, because Marvel already got a lot of taste and flavor. But I think when they work with Carcell, who is Spider-Man, through magic, you know, which is a wish, I think that would be we could tell a great story together. And that's one of my goals in life, is to make a movie with Marvel that has to do with 12-18 and some type of crazy stuff happen, you know what I mean, in 12-18, and it's just some type of cool, like some crazy cool story. Like, I just want to do something like that, starting with Carcell's Amazing Fantasy. I think Carcell's Amazing Fantasy will be a perfect segue for that 12-18 stuff, but that's just a dream for now. But it's just something that I want to talk about and cover, because it's on my mind a lot, the whole Marvel universe and my Carcell's Amazing Fantasy story, and trying to fit in with the Marvel universe and trying to make the Marvel universe even doper than what it is. Like, if I could get the pleasure to, that would be super dope. Like, you know, but we'll see though. We'll see. But I want everybody to be hype about that, because the Nas is gonna make an appearance in there, you know what I mean? So that's the Nas / Marvel / Graname / Tinashe / Carcell / other stuff. How I don't want to spoil the book, because there's other stuff that people love a lot that has a huge fan base in that Carcell's Amazing Fantasy book. So I put characters in there that Marvel characters did a crossover there. That's all I'll say right now. But it's a crossover that Marvel did with these guys. I put them in the book too. But it's up to you guys to really put together what's going on and what does it mean, what it means for the future films of Marvel. If we end up doing this movie, Carcell's Amazing Fantasy, one day, like, what it means for the Marvel universe. When you guys see these characters in this movie, you guys are going to be scratching your heads like, wait, what does this mean? Like, are we going to get a such and such movie now? You know what I mean? So it's going to be kind of like that. Like, when you guys read the book and when you guys watch the movie, you're going to be like, what? So we're going to be introducing such and such to the Marvel universe and stuff like that. So it's just like that. So it's just like hyping up all the worlds that Marvel had already, like, collaborated with and stuff like that in the video games and in the movies, you know what I mean? Like, so just like stuff like that. But it's gonna be crazy though. Like, this whole situation with the book and the Nas, and it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. But yeah, I can't stop smiling because this is so amazing. The fact, you know what I mean, that I did all this stuff, and it's just cool to reflect on it sometimes and be like, wow, I really wrote a book. Wow, I really created the Nas. Wow, I really drew my dream with my founder. Wow, I really made a wish to be Spider-Man. Wow, I really started rapping when I was 6 years old. Like, it's just crazy to just reflect about all that stuff and just trip out about it sometimes. Like, dang, I really put in a lot of work for a long time. Like, and it's finally paying off, you know what I mean? After all these years, I've been rapping for 25 years. 25 years. That's crazy. And I'm only 31. How I've been rapping for 25 years and I'm only 31? Oh, because I started at age 6. Like, that's how you got to do it. You got to start young sometimes, like, to make an impact in the game. And I know I'm going to make a big impact. I could predict that, like, because nobody's gonna really be able to compete with me, because I started rapping when I was 6 years old and I got footage of it. I made music videos and everything. Like, so it's like how can you compete with that unless you are that too? You know, that's my question for, you know, whoever want to compete with me. It's like, how can you compete if you ain't got the footage of you rapping at age 6, an original song at age 6? Like, you know, so it's just like, we gotta start thinking about stuff like, you know, we can't just be like such and such is great anymore because he got this many streams. Like, no, that's not what it's all about. Sometimes it's about character too, because a lot of these rappers and singers, they want to be characters. Like sometimes even like cartoon, they like real life. It's like they think they're a real life cartoon character sometimes, where they're trying to be or trying to convince us that there's some type of character versus a real person behind the microphone or on stage. You're not looking at a human. You're looking at a star. You're looking at a cartoon character. You're looking at, I'm not such and such. I'm this. My name is this when I'm on stage. You know what I mean? Like a persona. So as long as artists have personas that they created for themselves and not something that's connected to them, like coincidentally, like Spider-Man and Starla, like a persona that's like a natural persona versus a made up one that you made up as the individual, like me, like my persona is Spider-Man because I made a wish to be Spider-Man, not because I'm a fan of Spider-Man, I'm just gonna call myself Spider-Man. No, I made a wish, an organized wish with Marvel and with Make-A-Wish Foundation. So it's just a little different. Like I could talk about Spider-Man a little bit more than the average person, just because the average person is just a fan. They don't really have no connection with Marvel and stuff like that. So it's just like, it's cool. Like it's cool to be like, I'm Spider-Man, just to yourself or to the world. But when somebody else say that you're Spider-Man, or Carcell, Spider-Man, aka Peter Parker, aka Carcell, on the newspaper that you can never really erase. You can't erase a newspaper. Once you make a million copies of a newspaper, that's gonna be out there forever. You can guarantee somebody collected that, including me. I collected that newspaper, a physical copy, and I still have it 20 years later. So so it's just stuff like that, like stuff that people gotta continue to think about. You gotta remember this data that's real. Like this is real data. This is a real newspaper that says this on it. You know what I mean? So it's like being delusional and naive versus being honest and real. You know what I mean? So it's like we gotta filter out like the non exciting or non amazing stuff. Like, you just barely started rapping when you was 20. That's not that amazing. Like Carcell started rapping when he was 6. Like it's just little like achievements like that put you in a whole different zone than everybody else. Like when you start off that young and when you achieve stuff at a certain age, like you put yourself in a whole different class than everybody. And that's just the truth. Like people who don't know, or people who can't relate to starting young are just gonna be against it. But the people who did start young are gonna agree with me. Like it's just something about starting young. It just makes you into more of a seasoned person to whatever you do. Like if you started that young and you got not just that, but it's important to have evidence and coverage of this. Like if you have evidence of you, like footage, it's important to have footage of you doing this as a kid versus telling us. Like it's always good to have evidence and footage of everything, especially in 2025, because we all got phones. But technology like cameras and stuff like that existed since householdly existed since I say the 60s. So we've been having this technology for the 60s. So it's important to capture these moments. You know what I mean? It's important to capture these moments while you can. You know what I mean? Especially like if you're trying to prove that you're some type of great person to the world, or some literal. I love to say literal, but when you hear the word literal, you gotta literally listen or take it seriously. Like, okay, literal, okay. So literally means literature. So he's talking about literature. So you gotta be literally good. But anyways, I'm coming though. I'm coming. That's what I want the world to know, is that I'm not sitting here waiting for anything. I never did that. I always put in work Like always put in hard work for myself to get to where I needed to go. Like I didn't just sit around waiting for magic to happen. Like no. Like I pushed my brain to think about stuff that people ain't thinking about, you know what I mean? Like purposely, like I would sit and think about like inventions or something like that that don't exist, or that could help our every stuff that we already have, our everyday stuff, our everyday life stuff that we have, you know what I mean? Like I'll literally, so that's why I'm not surprised that I thought about the National Merit Shape Shits, because I would consistently just be brainstorming about all types of ideas all day long, you know what I mean, until I came up with something dope, and then I'll take notes about what I'm thinking about, you know what I mean. So I'm just a very structured, hard-working person. So that's what I want you guys to know. Like I'm coming for the world. I'm not gonna be somebody that's gets pushed to the side or swept under the rug. That's not who Carcell is. Carcell is here to make a point, and I'm here to prove stuff. I'm here to make a point and prove things to the world, you know what I mean? And what I want to prove the most is that first of all is that we got to start taking literature seriously. We got to start looking at data and doing real research on everything we see, and making sure that it's a real thing versus some fake stuff, because you know, you don't want to be in a position one day where you believed in something all this time, and then you found out one day that thing then it isn't real at all. You know what I mean? Like it's just good to always do your research and dig in extra hard about stuff that you're interested in, and make sure that it's a real thing that you really want to put inside your world and stuff like that. So it's important to do that and take your time to understand what's going on in the world. So, but anyways, I want you guys to always know what's going on with me. You know, not always going on with me, but I want you guys to know that I'm always a person that's working hard, and everything I say, you're gonna see it come to life. It's not just gonna be something I'm talking about forever. Like when I say I'm working on an album, you're gonna see an album. When I'm working on a Nas, you're gonna see the Nas. When I'm working on a relationship with Tinashe, you're gonna see a relationship with Carcell, a Carcell Tinashe relationship. When I want to be Spider-Man on a movie, I'm gonna be Spider-Man on a movie because I worked for it. You know what I mean? So that's what I want everybody to know. Is like when I say I'm about to make these shifts real, and you about to have your own remote controllable model in your backyard, and you don't got to be jealous of me or anything like that for too long. Hey, believe it. Because you definitely are going to have your own remote controllable model in your backyard, in your own pool, and going viral yourself on Instagram and on TikTok about your own National Merit Shape Shift, because everybody don't know about National Merit Shape Shifts yet, and the whole world needs to know, and the whole world is going to know, but it's up to us to put it out there and make the National Merit Shape Shifts as big as they need to be. So that's all I want you guys to know, is that I'm a person that I say what I mean, and everything that I want to do eventually happens, you know. And I'm not just sitting here wasting time and wasting money. I'm making these dreams come true slowly but surely. So I just want you guys to know that. So, but definitely support if you haven't supported. If you like my content, if you like the National Merit Shape Shifts, definitely buy a t-shirt or go donate. If you want to go donate, if you don't know how to donate, all you gotta do is go on GoFundMe and type in support the first American Shaped cruise ship and donate. Or if you want to buy a t-shirt, you could go on my TikTok shop and buy t-shirts for only $25. All you gotta do is go on my Instagram on Tinashe1, TINASHEWON, and click my links and choose what you want to do. Or, you know what I mean, or you could do that. My bad, I just totally forgot what I was talking about just now. But yeah, that's how you support. Just follow my links, even on YouTube. Like, just go on my profile, follow my links. You'll find a way to get to my GoFundMe and to my TikTok and my t-shirts and stuff like that on my website. So just keep following the links and you'll find everything you need to support. So But definitely make sure you support, especially if you like the content and you like Carcell Pod, and you like everything. Just make sure you support. So, but this is Carcell Pod episode 7. Thank y'all for listening. Peace.